Karine, a few questions. First on Afghanistan. The Biden administration appears to have been downplaying some accounts from ground commanders involved in the evacuation of Afghanistan over the past week. We heard a State Department spokesperson say that their criticism was cherry-picked from a larger report. For President Biden himself reject those accounts. Jen, last week, I believe, said that there was no after-action report. So two questions I wanted to ask you to clarify the White House position. One, does the White House agree that the evacuation should have been started earlier, which is what some senior military officials have asserted? And secondly, did Jen misspeak last week when she said there was no after-action report? There's been some reporting from a colleague of mine over the weekend that indicated there was indeed an after-action report that was reviewed.
So to your last question, no, Jen did not misspeak last week. This Abbey Gate report is not the Pentagon's broader after-action review on Afghanistan. That report will examine the final months of America's longest war and cover from February 2020 through the end of the evacuation. So no, she did not misspeak. But let me just say something that I think it's really important. I'm just going to quote John Kirby, who did a Sunday show yesterday. I believe this was Fox News Sunday show, and I'll quote him here. He said, I would also add here in Washington, we have been planning for evacuation as far back as April, and there was no effort by Washington, certainly not by the National Security Council, specifically to slow down that planning, to slow down those pre-positioning of forces that we did in the summer, to slow down the actual execution of the evacuation. So again, this is John Kirby, spokesperson for the Department of Defense. So again, these were documents that assert impressions and perspectives, which are very important down at the tactical level in real time. We need to conduct a larger, more strategic level after action review to get the whole sense of this, and we're doing that. The Abbey report, again, is one important review of what occurred that day, but it should not be mistaken for a full follow-up on the last months of the war in Afghanistan.
Okay, and on a different topic, to follow up on the earlier questions about the Supreme Court, I know you said that the President has not conducted any interviews with candidates yet, but will the White House disclose which candidates the President does interviews with as he goes through this process?
What I can promise you right now is that the President's going to make his selection for the Supreme Court Justice by the end of this month. That's what we know, that's what he stated, and that's what we will do.
And last question, Vice President Harris is headed abroad to the Munich Security Conference this week. Can you talk a little bit about what the White House hopes she will accomplish there? And is she going to be sort of the sole representative of the administration in some of these meetings with counterparts? Are there going to be other administration officials as well? Can you sort of give us a sense of what the expectation is?
So I don't have any specifics, but I can say that we are very proud to have the Vice President lead the delegation to Munich this week. I don't have any specific details. I'm happy to talk to the team to see exactly what her schedule is going to look like. But the President is proud that she's going to be representing the United States.